My name is Corine Brennan. I teach Sunday school in the Ed building on Sunday morning with the preschool kids, and I have to tell you that that is really an enjoyable experience. I serve on the missions committee. The very, very best thing that I could ever do with my faith is to get outside of where I'm at, get outside of my own problems, and to activate my faith and say, Lord, I need you to help me be a light in my life today. If you have experienced the gospel in your life, if you've experienced what it feels like to take your first breath of fresh air as a free, forgiven person, then you've been given a tremendous gift. You now have been called into and set apart to share that very same idea with somebody else. I had met Christoph Savage and his wife about a year and a half before we went on vacation, and I was really impressed with his enthusiasm. His energy was off the chart. What a great heart. And you know what was interesting about him is that he would pour himself into one person as much as he would pour himself into 20. I never saw anybody like that. He would literally give everything up for one person and pursue them in the name of Christ. And so when we decided to go on vacation, we went to France. We said, what a great idea to be able to connect up with what he's doing there. And it just so happened that the same week we were going, he has an annual barbecue in the middle of a metropolitan city called Lille. And so I said, well, let's just go. So my husband and I, we booked tickets. We took this awesome train ride into Lille from Paris. And we spent 2 or 3 days with the Savages. And we really had an eye-opening experience. But you know what was interesting was the cross-culture that I met there. And it was kind of cool because I didn't know the language. But, you know, we had these tracts and we were passing them out and inviting them to this barbecue. And there was a wide range of people that we spoke with. It was very exciting. But it was interesting because toward the middle, Christoph said, well, what would you like to do? Would you like to serve the food or would you like to pray? And I said, well, how many people are serving food? He goes, well, we have about 35 people. I said, how many people are praying? He goes, I don't think we have anybody. I said, we'll pray. So my husband and I took a hot dog each, and we walked around this large area that kind of like an open field with an interstate, like 2 highways over it. And we walked around and around and around for quite a while until we saw, what we saw was happening was that after the barbecue, believers in Christ in this little church that we support, by the way, in this church, and that little church, every single person in that church prayed that God would lead them to the right person to share the gospel with. And so as they sat down to eat their food, they would sit at these tables, and there was probably 150 people, 200 people there eating lunch. And so I have a very sweet memory of Christoph's children playing with the children of the other families who would be having lunch with those that were being, they were sharing Christ with them. And there was music going on in the background. And you could see just a lot of people never realizing that Christ was calling them, never expecting that at lunch they would hear something that their heart really needed to hear. And I really love that, and those memories will live on for a long, long time.